Welcome to the Life in Michigan podcast. Life in Michigan is more than an online magazine. We share the stories, experiences, and vibrant personalities that make the Great Lake State truly unique. In this podcast, we bring you inspiring, heartwarming, and sometimes unexpected conversations with people who call Michigan home. From the rugged beauty of the Upper Peninsula to the bustling creativity of Kalamazoo, we'll cover the stories and define what it means to live, work, and play in Michigan. Today we are talking about a true comeback story in downtown Pontiac, the Flagstar Strand Theatre. The 104-year-old landmark has survived everything from Vaudeville to nearly being condemned, and today it is the heartbeat of the city's art scene. Joining us today to give us the inside scoop is Executive Director Alex Resnick, a guy who handles everything from booking national acts to mopping the floors when duty calls. Alex, welcome to the Life in Michigan podcast.
Hey, thanks, Chuck.
Excellent. It's nice to meet you. I have some fond memories of the Strand Theater. It was actually a few years ago. One of the most memorable shows was seeing Billy Strings there.
My gosh.
He did 3 nights, and it was awesome. And we got to see the theater, and it was so cool.
Yeah, that's the only time I believe a goat has bought a ticket for in the Strand Theater too. So that was good. I wasn't here then, but it's legendary around here for sure.
Well, so for folks that are listening, maybe a little bit of background on yourself and what led you to become involved with the Strand Theater.
Oh, cool. Thanks. Yeah. So I'm originally from Kansas. I moved up here in 2005. I'm from a very small town, so whenever something needed to happen in the high school, everybody needed to be involved. So our show choir needed everybody, our theater department needed everybody. We didn't have a big enough school for a baseball team, so we just everybody was doing everything. And my fondest memories of high school were in the show choir and doing the theater productions. And I went to school and graduated from U of M Flint and got a degree in marketing. And path to life led me to Michigan. My wife and I moved here about 12 years ago. To Pontiac, Michigan. Moved here about 12 years ago. And we've completely fallen in love with the city. And I started working at the Strand about 5 years ago because there's just so much opportunity downtown. There's right currently there's some empty buildings and stuff like that, and the Strand can really be that economic development force that will help move the city forward in a very positive direction. And I take a lot of pride in being able to help with that. So yeah.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So what is so you're the executive director there. So what does that look like day to day? I'm always curious about like what a person's job looks like when they say I'm the executive director. Does that mean you sit in your office and you talk to people all day, or do you like down the hall cleaning toilets too? Like what does that look like?
All of it. Yeah. It depends on what's needed, honestly. Like, I mean, there was a show a couple weeks ago where one of the toilets broke and I had to go turn off the water to it, and then I'm also working on deals to get artists here for our signature series. I'm working with local people for rentals. I'm, mopping the floors. I mean, we have a team. Don't get me wrong. We have a phenomenal team, but it's all hands on deck, especially for a small theater like we are. And so, I mean, on a Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, I'm right here sitting behind my desk doing Excel and Zoom meetings and stuff like that. And then weekends and evenings, I'm putting on events and helping execute stuff. So that's what's really fun about the job, is that it's never dull. There's always something to do. You're always trying to move forward, and yeah, it's always a good time.
Nice.
So how do you tap into your like theater background? I mean, are you helping produce shows or?
No, you don't want me producing shows. No. I'm more making connections with people that want to use the theater, and then and that comes on a number of different ways. So being able to be on the stage in high school in very limited capacity. I mean, again, small town, right? But being able to kind of see it from both ways has been helpful in talking people through how they want to execute their event. Sometimes it's a person who comes through with an idea, and then we spend an hour and a half talking about how they can use the different aspects of the building, different aspects of the stage, our rigging system, our lighting, that kind of stuff has been really helpful.
Wow, very cool. So I know the Strand has been in Pontiac for quite some time.
Like 1920s, wasn't it? First.
1921. Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
104 years old.
That's crazy.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
it's so cool that that has been preserved. Um, can you maybe share just a little bit of the history of the Strand Theater and like what has happened over time and where it stands today?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so it started as a vaudeville theater. So silent movie actors before really the silent movies got going. And what I just recently learned about vaudeville too is that SNL is very vaudeville. So it was very variety show type of thing, and so just a lot of different things going on in vaudeville, which is awesome. I've really enjoyed learning about that. And then in the 30s and 40s, when it turned into the talkies, doing a full cinema house, and then there was some ownership changes that happened, and it's kind of murky there in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and then it popped up as the campus theater in the 80s, which was the Triple X theater. And so the really interesting thing there is that it was the campus theater in the 80s when the national government was going through and tearing down vacant historic buildings. It was before the historical designations really came into effect, and so porn kind of saved the Strand, to be just crass about it, because it was in use, and so it didn't come down. There were a couple other theaters in town that came down because they were empty, and so the campus theater kind of saved the Strand there.
That's crazy.
And then yeah. And then in the 90s, a group out of Detroit, the Attic Theater Company, they were using it, and then the building got condemned in the late 90s, mid 90s, and then it was essentially silent up until 2017, until Kyle and Brent Westberg, the two brothers that currently own it, reopened the building. So there's, essentially two generations of people that don't have memories in the Strand. It's always been on the Strip and on Saginaw Street, downtown Pontiac, but it was essentially empty for 30 years and not being used. And so it was a $20 million renovation that got it back up and running. The brothers bought the building from the city of Pontiac, and the city of Pontiac owned the three buildings that were attached to it. So from the outside of the Strand, it looks like four separate buildings, but from the inside, it's all connected now, which is really cool. And that gives us a lot of flexibility to do different cool events in our space. And then, reopened in 2017 with the Russian National Ballet was the first show that they opened with.
Nice.
And then now we're chugging along. There was some ups and downs after the reopen. I started working here in 2020. It was phenomenal timing. It was March of 2020.
Oh man!
So that was it was terrible. It was terrible. So it was just awful timing, but we were able to work through it. I actually went back to my previous job and I was like, "Hey guys, remember that time I told you I was going to be moving on? Not for a few more months," and they were gracious enough to let me stay on and put up with me kind of doing two jobs at once.
Wow.
And then in August of 2020 is when I was full time. That was when we did our first marquee concert. So we closed down Saginaw Street. We put three bands on top of our marquee that overlooks Saginaw Street and had just a party. It was really, really cool.
Very cool.
And that was like one of my favorite memories here at the Strand was to do that, because that was really the first event that I was able to execute. And it wasn't even in the theater because we couldn't be in the theater. We all had to be outside and properly spaced out and all that good stuff. And now we are an arts campus. We have our second floor is a gallery space. We have a rotating gallery. Every quarter we have a different artist showing works. In early 2026, we'll have a photographer have all their pieces out there. We have our theater bar that runs with events. We're going to be opening that to specific events and activating that space in 2026 as well. And now we do all sorts of different productions. We have comedians, we have tribute acts, we have Americana, folk music, we have all sorts of different stuff that are here. And then we do community theater stuff as well. We do youth theater. We work with some local high schools and middle schools for their theater departments and that kind of stuff too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. And I saw, is it true that I thought maybe I saw that there was like classes or education for folks that want to get into theater or were interested
Yeah.
in it?
Yeah, and so that's one of the focuses we have for 2026 is being a little bit more community driven,
Okay.
making the arts a little bit more accessible, and we're working on some partnerships now that are going to make that possible. So we really want to like dive into the the talent that Pontiac and Oakland County has, and really make sure that they can showcase that in a super positive and comfortable way. And so we're going to be doing classes that are like vocal lessons, some dance stuff, maybe some acting classes, some improv stuff, and so just being having all that available.
Nice. That's very cool. Yeah,
Yeah, thanks.
we actually just did some improv classes at a local small theater, and that was super fun. So I if anybody's listening and is close to Oakland County, they should definitely go check that out because that's
Yeah, they're a fun
definitely,
time.
yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So what do you think has been the biggest challenge? I mean, obviously the pandemic was a huge challenge that you guys
Yeah.
found a way to overcome. But since you've been working as the executive director, what's some of the biggest challenges that you've faced with the Strand?
Yeah, I mean, it's well, one, my lack of knowledge of the industry was a big hurdle to get over. I still don't know as much as I need to, but getting the right people in the building and working with awesome partners has been huge.
Yeah.
And then awareness of the Strand. I'm doing my best, and the team here is doing their best, so that when people come into the Strand and they don't say the first thing we don't hear out of their mouth is, "I didn't know this was here." So we're trying to do programming to get all sorts of different people in the building so they can experience this beautiful building, beautiful downtown, and just really raise awareness that we're here. I mean, you're never going to bat 1,000 in marketing and trying to sell a ticket, but trying to hit as many people as we can because the theater is absolutely beautiful, and downtown Pontiac is stinking awesome. There's great businesses down here, and so just trying to really lift that up has been really hard.
Yeah, yeah.
So what is the next closest city next to Pontiac? It's further north, right?
Yeah, so we're dead smack in the middle of Oakland County. So just south of us is West Bloomfield, just north of us is Auburn Hills, east of us is Rochester, and west of us is Waterford. I mean, people that know Pontiac probably knew Pontiac from the 90s when they were, or early 2000s it was when the nightclub scene was huge downtown.
Yeah.
There was Clutch Cargo's, there was all the other things kind of going on that way, and that scene has now died downtown, and the other businesses have popped up. But yeah, we're kind of right smack dab in the middle, and we have that
Nice.
those towns around us. Yeah.
Yeah. You talked about it just a tiny bit. You mentioned the gallery, and
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
adds another like creative layer to the venue. How did that idea come about to add a gallery to the venue?
Yeah, so that's part of getting the right people in. We have a nonprofit here called Encore Performing Arts Center, and I believe it was around 2021 when we hired her name is Annie Burns, and she was, I think, originally the development person for Encore, and then she moved into the executive director role. And she came from an arts background, and really the first thing she saw when she came to the building is the second floor needs to be a gallery. And I'm like, I don't know. I was kind of hemming and hawing about it. I was like, yeah, but kind of things, trying to find every no I could say, right? But she's 100% right. We did, I don't remember the year exactly, but it was 21, 22. We did our first gallery install with, I believe it was Paint Creek Center for the Arts. And so we had, I think it was 30 artists and their different pieces in here. And it was tactile, it was paint, it was all sorts of different mediums. I think we even had a fiber artist in there too.
Oh, wow.
And so we started partnering with these cool art centers, and then just putting out a call to artists to be able to show their work as well. The one that really hit home for me was Zach Curtis. We did his gallery install. It was kind of a weird time too, because it was about 7 months after a huge windstorm came through Pontiac. And if you all remember, there used to be the Phoenix Center in downtown Pontiac, and Oakland County has now taken that down. But before that windstorm, it looked like two large sails. There's two white tents that were up, and the windstorm ripped all of those off. And Zach Curtis, being the artist he is, saw an opportunity. He goes, I'm going to do some dumpster diving. grabbed those canvases, and then he painted the skyline of Pontiac on those canvases and then framed them up really cool. And it was just,
Wow.
it was beautiful. It was awesome. He had, I think, 40 pieces in, and then ended up selling about 30 of them during
Wow.
his install. It was awesome. We haven't been as successful with other artists, but that one specifically was huge. And then I have a couple of his pieces in my house because it's, what I'm trying to do here, trying to make Pontiac beautiful and raise it back up. It was really cool.
Wow, that's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So, you kind of touched on the marquee performances. Those are still going on, and maybe just to share a little bit about like what that is probably just for the warmer weather. Obviously, nobody wants to get out there right now, but
So we the city of Pontiac partners with us on these now. So the first one we did all by ourselves.
Okay.
We had sponsors, mostly local sponsors, that did that, and now the city of Pontiac says, okay, well, that's a really cool thing we can do to really amplify what's going on downtown. So I believe last year we did one for Juneteenth, marquee concert for Juneteenth, and then for the Dream Cruise as well.
So, Alex, in looking at the Strand, what would you say is like would be a perfect night at the Strand? Like who's on stage and what's the vibe inside the room?
Oh yeah. Well, the fun thing about the Strand is that it's going to change on the perfect night is going to change to who you talk to.
Yeah.
For me, as a '90s baby that graduated in the early 2000s, it's a punk rock band, or Garth Brooks, I guess.
Oh, awesome.
I was a huge Garth Brooks fan growing up, so I kind of get that nostalgia going. But then, yeah, eating dinner at Fillmore 13 across the street. I love that restaurant so much.
Yeah.
Just had it for lunch today, actually. And then having some good drinks at the bar, and then having my wife, my kids, and just getting down to some probably nice emo music. Yeah, yeah,
Excellent. That's awesome. Fantastic. Yeah, we love Fillmore 13. We need to go back. We haven't been there in a while, but excellent
nice.
beers. We always see them at the beer fests and everything, and they're always great people.
And they just updated their menu too, so they got some cool new things too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
but they still have pizza, right?
Absolutely, they do, and they have my favorite chicken club sandwich too. So that's those are the big things. Yeah,
awesome, fantastic.
So when you think about the future of the Strand, what excites you the most about the future of the Strand?
The thing that excites me most about the future of the Strand is just all of the unknown, because I really feel like we're just scratching the surface of the potential. We're building something very slowly and doing it the right way. And so the thing that probably excites me the most after that is having just extremely excited people to come to the building. Right now, we have people that are coming for a specific show. But then in 5 years, 10 years, we're going to have people coming to the Strand just because it's the Strand. And then they're going to see what's going on rather than, hey, this person's playing, we're going to go. We want to go to the Strand and have a good time.
Nice. Awesome. So when people go to the Strand, what are you hoping that they feel when they walk out after a show or just after coming and visiting?
That's a good question. Because we put a lot of time and thought into what they feel while they're there, and so then what they feel when they leave, just that they had an excellent experience and that they want to be able to come back, that they maybe had an experience they never had before, or brought them back to a time in their younger years, or at having a nice nostalgia moment of, oh, that was really cool. Let's do this again. But yeah. As they walk out, just a smile on their face and like, wow, what a cool experience.
And I'm curious, has anybody ever like left a message with you or with your team and you guys go, wow, this is, it was kind of outstanding, or, maybe just shocking in a way?
Yeah. My two favorite parts about an event here is seeing people come in. So I like to kind of park myself far enough away from the entry doors so that I can kind of see everything going on. But then you see the people that have never been there before, and so they're kind of looking around, and so you see them come in. And then my other favorite part is saying bye and thanks to everybody as they leave. And then usually I'll have 3 or 4 people just stop and say, "Man, your staff is nice. This building is so cool." So that happens a lot. Nice. And I love it every single time. It's awesome.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. So we might have touched on it a little bit earlier, but just for folks that are thinking about coming out to the Strand, what are some shows that will be happening, like that you're looking forward to in the spring and summer months, or
Yeah.
activities that are kind of ongoing?
Yeah. So we're actually doing our first self-promoted show in the summer. It's going to be in July. I don't remember the exact date, but it's not announced yet. But it's Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs,
Wow.
and that show is going to be so stinking cool. And we normally tend to stay away from summer shows because there's so many good outdoor venues
Yeah.
in our area, and they're just it's a whole other thing. So we just don't want to compete with that. But we saw that come across and we're like, yeah, we gotta jump on that one. That's going to be really cool. We've got Sierra Hull, who is nominated for 4 Grammys
Yeah.
this year, and she's coming in February. And then we have our youth theater group here called PYT, Pontiac Youth Theater, and they do a summer production every year, and it's a 2-week intensive. And it is so cool to see how the kids come together in that 2 weeks, put on an amazing performance, and then just see the relationships they have. I have 2 hockey player boys, and I forced them into the production last summer, and they were stage crew, but they loved it.
Awesome.
It was awesome, and so just being able to have those kids have a good time in the theater is really really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it when kids and even adults and older adults are getting exposed to the theater and don't really uh, they not have had that experience before, and then they get that new experience, and so that's very cool that you guys do that.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's really one that that one always gets me emotional because like there's probably 2 generations, maybe 3 generations of people that don't have memories in the Strand. And so what we're doing is we're creating that for people moving forward. So
Yeah.
it's going to be fun to talk to my kids, in 20 years, be like, hey, what do you think of this? And like, oh yeah, I remember, moving Elsa's castle and turning it into this, and like that kind of thing is very, very cool. Yeah.
Excellent. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, we have a couple more. Well, we actually have one more question, and then
Cool.
I want to end with that. But before we get to that question, I'm just curious if there's any like special instructions for people that are first time to the Strand. Is there
Yeah.
like a good parking place?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like come down this road. Like are there any special instructions to get there?
Yeah. The nice thing about Pontiac is that a lot of people go through it all the time. 59 and Woodward meet here downtown, and we're right on Saginaw Street. But the crappy thing is that that means the parking lots are about a block away, half a block away. We have contracts out with 2 other companies that we use their parking lots, and they're at the corner of Wayne Street and Water Street. I think I should know that. But they're right next to M1 Grill, the Coney Island right downtown. You can park there for free, and then just take a half a block walk through a park or down the street, and you hit the Strand. There is the large parking lot there that's on the corner. That is going to be anywhere between 20 and 25 bucks to get in. It's usually in line, so plan ahead. And then street parking downtown too is always available. We try, because parking is always the biggest issue for our events. People that was the biggest complaint we got over the last couple of years, and so we did a membership program for people who do come to more than 1 or 2 shows a year, and we give them assigned parking spots in one of those lots. They have their name on it. They have a cone, so no one else can park there, and so they have a spot whenever they're going to be here. And so if that is something that people are looking to do, they come into 2 shows. The membership's $400. You don't get discounts on tickets, but you get a free drink. You get a free guaranteed parking spot with your name on it. You get a cool badge. You get to do a meet and greet with everybody. We try and like add to that experience, so that they have a good time and they feel comfortable and safe.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Excellent. Well, we try to end up with like just one kind of Michigan moment. You might have touched on it a little bit before, but Alex, like for the final question for you is, what is your perfect Michigan day? So like, where would you go? What would you do? And what kind of beverage would you finish off your day with?
Ooh, okay. All right. Starting off, it would be skating on the rink in our backyard with my boys. So it's winter.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody said that yet.
It is winter.
Yeah, it's winter. I know we have beautiful summers, but since my kids play hockey, I have learned to enjoy the cold weather. So skating on the outdoor rink with my boys, and then probably going to maybe like the DIA or the Henry Ford to experience some art there, and then watching a movie at the house with my family on our fire, and then it's gonna be a War Cry IPA from Fillmore 13. It's gonna be the thing that I finish my day with. That's a hard one to beat. I'm also a big fan of Two Hearted Ale, but the War Cry IPA from Fillmore 13 is the way to go for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you. War Cry, that's a fantastic beer.
It's so good. It's so good. And the logo is great.
Yeah.
It's just, just everything about it's good.
Oh, man. Now you're making me, now I got to get to a show and I got to go Fillmore for, perfect.
I like it. Well, when you come, let me know and we'll have a couple beers together.
All right. That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Alex, thank you again so much. And we're looking forward to coming out to the Strand and to Fillmore 13 and experiencing Pontiac with you. So thank you again.
Yeah, thanks guys very much. I really appreciate it. You all are doing an amazing thing here and help shine a light on what I'm doing at the Strand, what the team is doing at the Strand. It means a ton. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to hit subscribe on your favorite podcast service to catch every episode of Life in Michigan. Help us spread the word by rating the show, sharing it with your friends, your neighbors, your family, your mail carrier. Share it with everybody. And leave a comment. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Stay connected by following us on our website and social media. This is a Life in Michigan production. Until next time, take care and have a fantabulous day in Michigan.